Yo, hello everybody and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Wednesday and let's get right into the charts as Bitcoin right now is bouncing from that weekly pivot support. As you can see, from 109.5k we did find some kind of a bottom right here after our RSI indicator kind of bottomed out right here. This is basically on a bigger time frame, but if we go on a lower time frame, you can see after our indicator created right here a bullish divergence. As you can see, basically we got here lower lows and higher highs right here on our RSI indicator. This suggests that a bullish divergence has been formed, and as you can see, Bitcoin has pumped right around 3.5%. As you can see, we've yet to hit that weekly pivot for the week, which is sitting at almost 114k, 113.8 to be exact, as you can see. So that would take us another 1.6%. It basically right now is pushing above the weekly pivot. We are currently trading very high for Ethereum. Basically, we are 6%, 6.3% away from the all-time high. But for right now, let's get back at Bitcoin. Since on the daily time frame, we've yet to take this low right here, 105k, which is what I am very interested in. But as long as we remain below this value area low right here, below the range and below the weekly pivot, I am expecting a further downside. But we first might see a move to around 115k before going down, so we might retest that value area low basically as resistance. Also, the liquidation heat map, you can see we still had a lot of liquidity which has been piling up on the upside. 190 to 120k is the most liquidity, but as you can see, we have exact here a bit of liquidity to grab right around 115k, and right here there is basically a gap with no liquidity. So we might, as I said, do exactly this scenario. We go up, test that value area low, everybody gets bearish, they don't know these key levels, price fails to reclaim the value area low, and then we go back down to 105k to take potentially this bottom. And if we hold here, then I am expecting another push to the upside. If we look at the stock market for today, the stock market is doing pretty alright, as you can see. Basically, the S&P 500 is pushing right here at the weekly R1. We have yet to break that level. As you can see, we got rejected once. We bounced perfectly from the weekly pivot, and right now we are testing this key level. The Nasdaq also trading above its weekly pivot. It is yet far away from the R1, 0.8% basically, but this move from the weekly pivot, if we measure, that would be 1.3% of a move for us to grab that, to test that weekly R1. Basically, Solana is finally looking really nice, still trading above the value area high right here. We've yet to break these highs right here. We are creating some kind of an ascending triangle right here. As you can see, basically this pattern is what I am looking for right now. You can see we are putting in newer highs every time by a little bit as we push higher, and in my opinion it is very possible that if this breaks to the upside, we might see Solana very easily grab those levels, which are basically back at the all-time high this week right here, which has been left, is sitting at almost $289 to $290 for Solana, which is what I am looking at for the final target for Solana. In my opinion, we will be very easily get there, since as you can see the Bitcoin dominance is continuing to fall off. Ethereum is very high, $4,650 for ETH is basically very bullish in my opinion. As you know, ETH will be leading all the altcoins. If ETH starts pushing really high above $5,000 for the first time ever, we will absolutely see the other altcoins completely start pushing also higher. Hype, let me see, Hype is currently at an all-time high basically. We are testing the weekly R3, but Hype managed it after it got out of the weekly pivot, we pushed up off the weekly pivot, bouncing from this value area low right here, and hype got a massive pump of around 14%, basically putting in new all-time high on the weekly time frame. You can see the momentum on hype has been absolutely massive, as you can see. It is not slowing down. XRP is a little bit behind, but as you know, XRP likes to consolidate like it did right here, and then we got a push. It did right here for almost 4 years, and then we got a massive pump. But as you know, so right now we might start consolidating here, and then we start going up. But this time the consolidation might not be as long as it was here and here. Basically, we might see XRP start breaking out sooner. Now for SUI is also in some kind of a big consolidation. If you look at it on a hard time frame, currently still trading where most of the volume sits, basically at that point of control right here at around $3.45, which is considered the fair price for SUI right now. And also if SUI, the same thing, starts consolidating longer, the breakout would be massive. The same goes for XRP, as I have just said. So we want to pay attention to those coins, guys. These are the coins that I'm following, and also I am following right here some more altcoins. AIF is a really good coin. It's basically pumps the same way Ethereum. It follows ETH, since it is also ETH based, I think. Pepe is also pretty low right now. We are in some kind of consolidation. As you can see, we can potentially draw a volume profile from, as you can see, we are basically right now kind of in that value area low below it, as you can see. So once Pepe starts to reclaim this value area low, we might see Pepe basically push hard back to that all-time high, which would, not the all-time high, but the value area high, I mean this level right here, which would be, let me see, 40% of a move to the upside. That would be very, very nice. Pengu has been cooling off right now, as you can see, after hitting a all-time high of around 0.04 cents. We've had a pump of around almost 500%, and right now we are cooling off a bit, 37% correction. We still might see some lower price targets before it starts reversing to the upside. So as I said, we want to see the Bitcoin dominance keep falling, and we also want to see Bitcoin find finally a bottom at 105 or 98 or 93k. We do not care which of those levels, as we are going to try and catch all those levels with proper risk management. But we need, why I mean this, that Bitcoin needs to find a bottom, is so that Bitcoin stops dropping and actually starts grinding to the upside, and then the altcoins can have a proper run after Bitcoin has finished its correction. Basically, the ETF inflows, we did have 88 million as of today. Very, very nice. Yesterday we had 290 million. Today we had 88. The inflows are piling up again. We are after a 6 days of only of outflows. Basically, they sold quite a bit, but right now they are buying back up at lower prices. So basically, this is what I mean, that Bitcoin won't be going down, in my opinion, back to the low 80s or 70k or 60k, since there is a very, very strong institutional buying pressure, and in my opinion, the bull market is yet to be over until we hit my target, which is sitting at 150k. Basically, the last R3, which is sitting, as you can see, 150k for Bitcoin. That would be another push to the upside of around 34%. And if we get there, imagine the prices of all the altcoins, that would be absolutely huge, in my opinion. And then we can potentially start talking about a bear market. And if the big institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, if they start selling, then we can talk about a potential bear market, or potentially a bigger retracement, basically of around this would be too much, but maybe right here I think we got a correction of around 30%. And if we get down here, we might see a correction back down to 100k, which would be exactly 32%. Basically, that would be, in my opinion, how Bitcoin will play out in the near future, guys. So that would be it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for the channel, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye.